Now we're kind of on here. Sorry, guys. I had some massive tech issues at like 30 seconds to launch. So I apologize for that. All right. Trisha, if you're still on, would you do me a favor and give me host?
Yes, sir. Let me try to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, if you hit the three dots on top right corner of my box, you should have the option that says make host or make co-host. And Ludwig, that is not a boat. You're thank you, Trish. You're muted, Mike.
I said, yeah, I know it's my truck, but I'm running errands and I just pulled off the road for a few minutes.
All right, no problem.
See you at the office.
Denny is on a plane. So you get me today, which is not a bad thing. Unless you think it's a bad thing, then it's a bad thing. So, all right. What is cooking? What are you guys seeing out there that's causing some pause and some questions? Got to be something, guys. Everybody, if you're not running into an objection, you're not talking to enough people.
I think it's a normal thing. Everybody thinks that, the prices are going to get better, for the buyers. Buyers want to hold out because they think prices are going to get better for them.
Now, Mike, your marketplace is different than most because, frankly, a lot of the people in your market don't actually have to buy or sell, right?
True to some extent, yes. I'm dealing with some people that are in that boat. I'm going to possibly lose some listings at the end of the day because they're in that position right now where they're, they can go either way.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, good. So we've got a resort market. How do you motivate the seemingly unmotivated? Jenny, what do you got? What are you working?
So my objection today was from the expired that had has a certain number, because they don't, like you just were saying, some people just don't really have to sell, but they just want to sell. So he was like, you can come in, look at it and list it, but I want this number.
Okay.
So that was the objection I got today.
That's going to be a little bit, Jenny, that's probably going to be a little bit easier than Mike's. And it's still going to come down to motivation.
But that's the whole thing. He told me straight up, is like, we don't have to sell it. We want to sell it, but we don't have to.
Great. So you be the seller, and we're going to work the model. Okay. And let's work through it and see if we can come up with a solution. So are we meeting face to face or are we on the phone?
We're on the phone. I'm expired.
Okay.
I expired at 7:45. I was only on the market for 36 days.
Only 36 days and it
It
expired?
was 72 and he felt like he didn't do anything.
Okay.
So he said after all the fees, he wants to take 700, no less than that.
Okay. So first thing when it comes to expireds, don't talk price on the phone. All right. Because you'll never get face to face with them. Because their mindset is nobody can do it. All right. So it'll go something like this. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Jenny?
Jenny? Yes, how can I help you?
Hey, Jenny, it's John McLeod over at Keller Williams here in town. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Excellent. Hey, Jenny, I noticed that your property last night just came off the market. What happened?
Yeah, we pulled it off the market. We just didn't feel like our agent did anything. So we don't want to sell it.
Okay, interesting. Just simple question for Jenny. What happened in the past month and a half that caused you not to want to move?
Well, we just want a bigger house, but we're still okay with this house. We don't really have to sell.
Okay.
We just wanted a bigger house. It's more of a desire.
So if somebody came by today and gave you an offer that netted you a number that was acceptable yesterday, would you still sell your house?
Yes.
Okay, great. So why don't we get together tonight at 4, tomorrow at 5? What works better for you?
Yeah, honestly, I don't really want to have people that are just gonna come look at my house. I have a bunch of agents, you guys are all calling, and I just don't really want anyone who's not qualified just coming and look at my house.
You know what? I'm not qualified because I'm not buying your house. So
because that's exactly what he said. I tried that line that you did.
And I get it. You want qualified people coming through the house. So tell me more about that. What happened that it sounds like you might have experienced this recently.
Well, the agent told me that he had 2 showings and we live in a house. We never had anyone come in and look at it.
Okay. So sounds like the experience could have been better.
Yes,
All right.
we just
Other
feel
than
like
that-
he was not honest.
Other than the bad experience and your home not selling in the past 30 days, is there anything else keeping you from selling your home and moving into a bigger place?
No,
Okay. So tell me what's good, a bigger place gonna do for you?
we're just gonna have more space for the kids and my wife.
Okay. Love that. So what do the kids do that need more space?
We just plan on having more kids, so we're gonna be a growing family.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So this is a move that you could see yourself in for some time, right?
Yes,
Okay, great. So you said that you would still sell your house if somebody knocked on the door and gave you a bucket of cash that you would have taken yesterday. And you want to alleviate some of the frustration. Anything else keeping you from putting your home back on the market?
no,
Okay, great. So what works better for you, today or 4, or tomorrow at 5?
I'm busy, it's Father's weekend. How about you call me on Monday and we'll decide?
Tell you what, why don't we go ahead and set it now? And if you have I'll call you to confirm the morning of Monday at 5.
Yes, that's fine.
Perfect. Done. Don't talk price on the phone. You
Okay.
will never win.
Well, I said, I'm like, let me look my numbers. Let's set up something for Monday and then I'll call in the morning, like what you just said.
Yeah, just
He was like really firm on a
Just
number.
get the appointment. Don't talk numbers, not specifically, but ask the question. If someone came to you today with an offer that you would have accepted yesterday, would you still sell your home?
Yes,
That gets to the root of it. If they say no, well, what happened to change your mind? It has to be more than being frustrated.
hmm,
Make sense?
yeah, it
And then
does.
digging down into motivation, I found out the ammunition I'm going to use at the table is, oh, you're going to grow your family. Over time, do you think the price of real estate goes up or down?
Up,
Wouldn't it make sense to buy it now when you know it's going to be less than it'll be in the future?
yeah, it does. See, I didn't go to that. Like, do you need to buy another house? Like, that's where I didn't go.
You have to create pain. I don't know if you've had kids yet or you've had multiple kids, but when you start busting at the seams, it becomes really tight. It becomes really painful. That's the pain point in this case. We're going to have more kids. Awesome. How many extra bedrooms do you have?
None.
The kid's gonna be happy sharing.
Get their price now.
How long are you willing to share your bed with the new baby?
Hmm.
Okay, so all of these to create the pain point. Without the pain point, you will lose.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, so I have to create it. I have to dig for it and find it.
That's it. I mean, the pain point's there. You just have to dig to find it. 5 questions. I say this almost every single call. 5 questions deep on the motivation.
Okay,
Because if you don't go 5, they're likely blowing smoke at you
okay,
just to get you off the phone. Because every other agent in Phoenix, Scottsdale's already called them,
yeah,
right?
yes, for sure.
Awesome. Now, Mike. Captain.
Yes, sir. I'm back. Right now I have time. Go ahead.
Okay, so not much difference in your case. You have a seller in a resort market who doesn't have to sell. No one was willing to pay him, quote unquote, their number. Why were they selling?
Because he built a new waterfront home, actually, and they're getting ready to move into it, but he's, at this point in time, he's comfortable handling and carrying it, and he's deciding if he wants to, I know he'll put it back on the market with me. He just wants to take a pause right now. He might
Okay.
play with renting it. I mean, I can honestly tell you, I probably did not go 5 deep. I went 2 or 3 deep, but, here's it, I'm dealing with an NFL referee who's used to superstars yelling in his face and challenge him in different things. So,
Yep.
it's a little bit different, Sun Tzu. I think, then go in your normal 5 deep. He told me I'm gonna get the listing again. He just wants to pause it. He wants to do this and that, so I have no reason not to believe him.
And that's fine, yet, at the same time, home that's not on the market is losing opportunity.
I agree.
We all know that, right? So let me ask you this. Had he sold the house, what was he gonna do with the cash?
I would imagine he would have invested it in something. He's not gonna buy anything else because he just built the house right now. He's not.
Did he build the house cash or did he finance it?
I never ask him, you know.
Okay, so there's two good things. So when you know those, okay, what are you gonna do with the cash when you sell? One of two things. I'm just gonna reinvest it, okay? Or I'm gonna pay down the construction loan. Great. What's your cost? What's your lost opportunity cost? You're building this house on the water because you're either retired or you're gonna retire soon. You want to live in Marco, spend the rest of your time with coconut rum on your back lanai, looking at the dolphins playing in the backyard. So is there a chance that between now and a year or two, when you're gonna have a renter in there, that the property value for that property goes down? There's a chance. What would you do with the money? So it just creates a pain point. He can carry it. What if he gets a renter that trashes it? Again, it's not a financial motivation. You have to create a pain point from a different angle. Oh, you know what? I was gonna open up a business. I was gonna buy a barbecue joint. And you know me well enough to know that would be, if I was gonna buy a restaurant, it would be a barbecue joint. So he's gonna buy a barbecue joint. Great. So how long do you have to wait? And if money is truly no object, then just drop the price and sell it. That's why you know there is a money play involved. Because if it's not about the money, then just drop the price and sell it. Prove to the rest of the world it's not about the money. They won't do it because it is about the money. So you have to create the pain point. That make sense?
Yeah, you
And
gave me a
guess
good
what?
angle on him. I just showed it today, and so I'm hoping I can do a Hail Mary today. So it looks pretty
That's a
promising.
good reference, especially with this client.
Oh, it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: you're going to get it back in October. So not only does he have no motivation, you don't either. And that's kind of like that. That's the opposite of the irresistible force meets the immovable object. Right? This is sloth meets snail, if you will. Nobody needs to do anything. So you just say, yeah, I'm patient. We can wait.
I'm not giving up on the day yet. I got a couple things going on. I'm just not gonna take the team's time going real deep on that one. But yeah, but you did give me some good points there. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. What else, guys? What else is cooking? Kevin Dolan, good to see you. Oh God, Sandra Marconi's coming in. Wait till our audio's on here. And the conversation is just going to get a little more colorful. Good afternoon, Sandra.
You as well,
Marconi.
John.
Sandra, what's happening in Houston?
I'm just busy, John.
Oh,
Busy and hot.
That sounds like another Texan. Just busy, busy, busy.
I'm sorry. You can come join my team if you want.
It's hot enough in Florida. I'm not moving to Houston. So what is happening in Houston, Sandra?
We are listing and they are selling, and not only multiple offers, 20, 30,000 over asking price. Gosh, it's crazy.
Okay, so Houston is back in the fog and mirror market. Love that. What is happening in other markets? What are you guys seeing? We covered already a resort market with a seller without an awful lot of motivation. And we also covered an expired, digging deeper to uncover where the pain points are. What else is cooking, guys? Gotta be something, man. 18 of you on the phone. There can't be 18 people that aren't talking to clients this week. Come on. Don't be shy. This is the role play, guys, where we actually work this out together. This is not about us modeling the system. That's done in the morning. This is active participation.
Okay, I have one. Hey, John, how are you? It's Jay.
Hey, Jay, you still say Sherry, but that's okay.
It says Sherry.
Yeah, if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you came in as Sherry Baracquio, who is a virtual assistant for us. So I did too. You just have to change your name. It's all right.
Oh,
What's
okay.
cooking?
Hey, so here's the thing. I have a buyer. I've actually spoke to you about this buyer, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So he wants a new construction. Now we're looking at a lot at Oaks Estates. Let me put my camera on. So maybe, oh, here we go.
There we go.
And then I couldn't find him anything for maybe a month. I mailed some of the lots that had no address on them for years. So I keep working with him, but then he starts to kind of pull back now, and he's like, you know, I think I'm gonna wait maybe another couple of months, maybe 5 or 6 months, and see how the market develops. Initially, we started looking at the already built homes for around the $3-4 million range, and then now he's more of a, okay, let's buy land. I found him a contractor, and he's like, let's build something custom, because he basically needs a custom build. And then, they're not in a rush to move. They have a place in Bonita Springs. It's just getting too small for them. They have no kids. They have two dogs, but he has a bunch of cars. He needs to have all his cars in one place, because right now his cars are all over the place.
Okay. And what's his objection with buying a lot now? Why does he want to wait?
Well, he works with a lot of investors, so he just bought a 20-unit building in Chicago with another investor. So basically, he has connections with people that do a lot of numbers. So he goes by what they say about the market. So he basically said, "Hey Jay, listen, this is what I got from my last conversation with them. I'm not jumping on on anything until probably another 4 or 5 months." And
Okay.
he's super like, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen.
So, let's challenge his mindset a little bit. Okay.
Mhm.
His group of mentors, how much work do they do in Southwest Florida?
Not much. Everything he buys, it's up north, because it's a multi-unit building. So there's not much here. Yeah.
So they're buying multi-unit buildings in the northern part of the country, has absolutely nothing to do with single-family homes in the northern part of the country.
Right.
Never mind single-family
Right.
homes 1,400 miles south.
Right.
Okay. So you said he lives in Bonita Springs. He needs room for a bunch of cars. I take it his cars are not stored where he is now.
No, he only has 2 or 3 cars with him. The other ones are in shops throughout the whole country.
Okay. And he's paying storage, and I'm guessing it is
Oh,
not
yeah.
expensive storage.
Oh yeah, he's paying. I mean, I don't think he's paying for storage, because they're getting modified basically. So they're getting, upgrade whatever he does with them. So I don't think he's actually, but maybe he is. Yeah, maybe he is actually, when I think about it.
He's paying for storage one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I probably, yeah.
And why does he need a bigger house? Again, we're going to dig motivation. Why does he need a bigger house?
Right, but well, basically he doesn't need a bigger. He just needs more room. So that's why now we're looking at 2.5 acres and up, and he wants a 10-car garage for sure. So that's the biggest thing for him.
Okay. So what is he seeing that causes him to think that prices are going to come down on a custom home in Southwest Florida?
Well, he's wealthy. He's the CEO of a huge roofing nationwide company, and he said, I have Grant Cardone on my text messages. He's like, I can get I get insights, about a lot of stuff before they even happen. So I don't even question him about these stuff. I just let him think he can, he controls what's going to happen basically, or he knows what is going to happen.
So
Just
you can
because-
challenge him, Jay, with
Yeah.
things like this, all right? So, yeah, I get it. You think that prices are gonna come down. What part of prices are gonna come down? And he said, well, let's say construction costs. Awesome. So did you know that lumber has come down 60% in the past 18 months? How much farther do you expect it to go down? That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to if you had an opportunity to buy a piece of real estate that last year was $1 million and today you could buy it for 400,000, would you buy it? Yep. When you have a 60% drop in a commodity, prices are not coming down anymore.
You know,
And
I'll
that's
put,
actually sorry, go ahead.
Mike.
I'll put a different spin on that. In my, I'm listening to you guys, and I had a very dear friend that was in the, this kind of business, but I'm thinking Southwest Florida, and there's only so much land. And then if you're going to build a garage for 10 high profile cars, you sure don't want to build that in a flood zone. So you want to build that in an area where there's acreage where it's not in a flood zone. So there's only so much of that land too, still close enough to the coast. So I would be searching those areas and showing them what land's available, and throwing that at them too. I don't know.
Thank you. Yeah, we actually did that. He lived in Oaks Estates before, and this is where he wants to be. It's just nothing available right now there. So I'm just continuing to send mails and trying to find something off market. But this is where he wants to be. He wants to be in Oaks Estates. He wants 2.5 acres at least, and he's willing to pay the price. Currently they go around $1 million, $1.2 million. So, and then we'll see.
That's the lot, right?
That's the what? Only the what? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then he's got construction costs on top of it. So it's
Right.
If the lots have been growing consistently and stably over the past 3 or 4 years, not rocketing up, but a fairly consistent growth pattern,
Mhm.
and the demand is still there because there's nothing available.
Right.
What makes him think that prices will come down? There's nothing available.
Right.
That's simple economics. He's a smart guy. Guess what? When a hurricane comes to Southwest Florida, the price of concrete tiles just quadrupled. Why? Because we know they're going to need them. It doesn't cost any more to produce them. We know they're going to need them.
No, he knows that. He said he had the best year last year because of Ian.
Yeah.
On the roofing side, he has the roofing company. So
Yet he's not following his own advice. So
that's all great points. I love it.
Awesome. Jay, thank you.
Thank
What
you.
else we got cooking, guys? I'm just going to start calling on random people, Bailey, if you don't speak up.
Let me think real quick.
When there is.
I don't
So
know. I just
Bailey,
have
do
people
you normally work buyers or sellers?
buyers.
Okay, terrific. Now, now I haven't seen you on the call. Doesn't mean that you haven't been in. We could have crossed paths. Are you familiar with the system that we teach? Acknowledge, isolate, address, close. Those 4 steps.
I've heard it before, but I haven't practiced it.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. We're gonna ask Sandra to be nice. I know. Look at her look. She's really, you want me to be nice? Yes, Sandra, please be nice today. Okay. And let's do a quick role play. You're the buyer. I'll be the agent. And
I'm the buyer.
You're the buyer. Yep. I'll be the agent. And this is to demonstrate the model to Bailey. And you can use whatever objection you want. All right. We're sitting down at the table. You're interested in buying. All right, Sandra, we've gone through everything. We've talked a little bit about what you're looking for. Are you ready to start looking and move forward?
I'm not quite sure that I am, John. You know, the interest rates are really fluctuating right now. So I just don't know that I want to jump into this, you know, disastrous turmoil that we have right now.
Okay, I get it. There's your acknowledgement. Other than the interest rate, Sandra, is there anything else that's concerning you right now?
You know, I just want to make sure that the pricing is settling down. You know, I know we're here in Houston and, you know, basically this is going to be another investment for us. So, you know, adding to our portfolio, I just kind of want to make sure that, you know, we're getting a good deal on a property.
Okay, terrific. So interest rates and a good deal that fits your investment criteria. Anything else?
No, just make sure that you're going to take care of all of our needs and not give us any trouble.
Well, I'm gonna give you trouble just because it's you. Okay, so there, we acknowledged and we isolated, right? Now, she's a little bit different. She's an investor. So Sandra, tell me, let's start with your.
Do you want me not to be an investor? Do you want me not to be an investor?
No, be an investor, it's fine. Works the same
Be an
way.
investor.
So Sandra, you're an investor. Tell me about your criteria. What are you looking for in a property specifically financially for you to make a decision to move forward?
Well, we're looking for something that's turnkey. I don't want to spend any time. It has to have a solid return on investment because, you know, we're looking at short-term rentals. So, and being that it's in a good area that's got the good tourism. So, you know, the Galveston area where we're looking at right now. So that part is fine. You know, but making sure that we can short-term rental and it's got a good return on investment.
Okay, so something that we can rent out that we're not going to have issues on the short-term side in the Galveston area that you prefer. When you say a good return on investment, what's your definition of good return?
I have money in the bank when it's all said and done. You know, that's Dominic's side of things. I would say if we could have a good, I don't know, I really don't know, what 10 to 15% return on investment. Is that too much?
Okay.
I don't know.
So if you were investing, say $100,000, you want to net somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 a year on that 100.
Yeah, maybe a little more.
Okay, after all your maintenance costs and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Sandra, if I can show you a property that meets that financial criteria, does the interest rate matter because it's already been considered and you're making the money you want to make?
Being that it's going to be an investment property, this will be our third one. If we could do creative financing and get a lower interest rate, I think that would be the clincher for us. So instead of doing just like normal traditional financing, if we could do a 10-1 ARM or 7-1 ARM to where we could pay it off within that time frame, I think, and have a lower interest rate, if we could get that, I think we would pull the trigger on it.
Okay. All right, terrific. So now we've just handled every objection. Okay, so great, Sandra. If I can find a property that meets that, are you able to make a decision now?
I think so, as long as it's cute and it meets my, you know, criteria for what I'm looking for interior wise as well.
So cute is one of the investment criteria.
It's beachy, you know.
Well, okay, so beachy.
I'm trying to be nice,
John, outside of picking
okay?
up something that looks beachy that's inland, if it's on the beach, you can make it beachy and look and feel beachy if you need to, right?
Can prefer not to have to do any work to it. I like it to be turnkey, ready to go.
All right. So meets all that stuff, you can make a decision to move forward then, correct?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Done. Now your consultation is, in her case, is basically over. Then it's just sitting down and looking at, so here's some cute beachy places that you can find out if they can short-term rent them. Start running this. So you can take a little bit of work, but you start crunching the numbers, pull out your vacancy and all that sort of good stuff. If Denny was here, I'd get really deep in the numbers just to annoy him. However, he's not. So
his face is here.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's Trisha at the main office. He's on a plane. So does that make sense, Bailey, the way we did that?
Yes. Can you tell me again? Acknowledge, isolate.
Address and close. Now, in the isolation phase, that's where you're going to get some clarity. She started out saying interest rates, and what was the real objection? Was return on investment. So that's why you need to clarify when they start talking, this is my objection. Great, ask questions. We didn't get caught or stuck in that rut where we're telling Sandra, oh, this is where you need to be. This is the property. This is the price. We didn't do any of that. It's just asking questions to get her agreement that it's time to move forward.
And that's the 5 deep.
That's where
To
the
find
5
pain
deep
point?
comes in. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Awesome. Now, are you ready to try it yourself?
I can try.
No, hang on a second. Are you familiar with this guy?
No.
You,
I mean, I know who it is.
what's his famous saying? Do or do not. There is no try.
Oh, okay.
We do. All right.
Okay.
So would you like to be, I will be the buyer. And I'm going to try not to trip you up too bad.
Okay.
I'm a first time home. I'm going to tee it up a little bit to give you some hints. We're in our consultation. I'm a first time home buyer. And I
Okay.
don't live with my parents.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and say, just ask me if I'm ready to get going.
Oh, I'm really bad at this. Okay. Why is it that you're looking to move here? Are you local or?
No, just ask me if I'm ready to start looking now.
Oh, okay. Are you ready to start looking?
You know what, Bailey? Interest rates just seem really high. We may, I think we're going to end up waiting, 6 months or a year until they come down a bit.
Okay, I understand you think interest rates are high. Have you,
Other than that,
other than that, is there anything else that is stopping you from looking right now?
no, I just wish the rates would come down.
Okay, and then I address it, right?
Yep.
Or no, I keep asking.
Well, yeah, but that's how you're addressing. So I just said I wish the rates would come down. What's your next obvious question?
What do you wish the rates would come down to?
Great question. First, before I answer that, why is that a great question?
Because we need to know where they're at and what they're thinking, what they're hoping for.
Yeah, well, it'll tell you if I've any sense of reality.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? I'd be happy if they came down to 5%. I don't think they're going to get down to 2.5 again, but if they came down to 5, I'd be happy.
Okay. That sounds good. Do you, have you been looking at the rates lately, what they're at right now?
Yeah, they're like almost 7.
Right.
Mhm.
What makes you think they're going to come down again?
Well, they didn't raise them this week. That's a sign that the Fed's going to start cooling off and pulling back. So I'm looking forward to that.
Find some.
Okay. So you're willing to wait that long? Is there, why are you looking to move right now then?
Good question. There's a great question. We'll do that in the review. Good question. So, you know what? I've been renting for 1.5 years and I'm just tired of it.
Okay. So what are you tired of with renting? Paying the 100% interest?
What do you mean?
Like paying your landlord's bills for them instead of getting equity in your own house?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm tired of. I don't want to pay his mortgage.
Okay, perfect. So what we can do, I think would be best to just start looking and see what we can do. Is monthly payment an issue for you? Is that something you're concerned about?
Well, isn't everybody?
Right. Okay. I don't know where to go from here.
Okay, you did, Bailey, you did great. You really did. All right. When you found out I was a renter, the next question is, how much are you paying in rent? Okay, great. So when do you expect rates to come down? You did ask that question. You missed the how much are you paying? Let's say I'm paying $2,000. Great. So rent, I think rents will come down by the end of the year. 6 or 7 months, rents will come down. And instead of going to the 100% interest, which is, and we all love a good mic drop moment, right? That is an agent to agent mic drop moment. A first time buyer is gonna be like, what are you talking about 100% interest? I don't pay any interest. I'm just renting. Okay. So the way to handle it would be, let's reverse it for a second. So Bailey, you said you're paying $2,000 a month in rent. Do you think that rates will come down in the next 6 or 7 months? That sounds like another $12,000 to $14,000 that you can be paying your landlord, right?
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
So that $12,000 to $14,000 that you're paying and will never get back, would that help make up some of the difference in a higher interest rate?
Of course.
Okay. And by the way, you may not know this because a lot of people don't. You can actually change your interest rate in the future if they drop. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. You have that option. So if rates do come down, you can always refinance into a different rate. What happens in 6 to 7 months if the rates don't come down or they go up, God forbid?
Right, then I'm stuck paying more than I wanted to in the first place.
So does that make sense?
Hmm.
Which situation puts you in the most control?
To buy a house.
Great. Did that conversation feel a little bit different?
Yeah.
Okay. When we get stuck with telling as opposed to asking questions, all of us, I mean, we feel great about it. However, is that individual going to learn anything? And
Right,
if they're
probably
not
not.
learning things on their own and they're being told something, we're told stuff every single day. I know Sandra tells her kids still every single day to do stuff, and one of them I know for sure doesn't listen. And I can say that with Sandra because I've known her for 5 years now. I know most of her family, and so I'm not speaking.
But they're also grown-ass adults, so, you know.
Yes, they are grown-ass adults.
It's not like they're kids.
And she still tells them what to do sometimes, and they
No, I
still sit back
don't.
like, no, Mom,
Like,
not gonna happen.
like they would listen. No, I don't think so.
However, if she's digging in and all of a sudden Justin, for instance, says, I have a brilliant idea that Sandra planted in his head, doesn't get credit for, he thinks he came up with the idea. That's how you win.
That's true.
Okay.
You want to plant the seed, water the seed, and let them harvest the fruit.
Okay, that's perfect.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You got it. Sandra, thanks for letting me pick on Justin a little bit. I know he's not here to defend himself, so. All right, guys, what else we got cooking? A lot of Arizona on here today. Chase, I don't know if you're listening, but hello. No, he's ghosting us today. That's all right. This is a quiet crowd today. Susan Ritchie, what's happening in your world?
There. Can you hear me now?
Yep, perfect.
Well, I'm before brand new. I'm not quite licensed. So I'm with
Okay.
a team in Canada.
This
Yeah,
is
so-
great. So you don't have bad habits you need to fix.
Well, yeah, not these have bad habits. Yeah.
Okay, so what part of Canada?
It near Toronto.
Okay, all right, terrific. So are you joining a team up there?
Yeah, I'm with the Peterson team.
Okay, terrific. And with the team, what is your responsibility going to be? Is to drop calls, so she's winning. I'm not that scary. All right, we're gonna go to Dorothy because she's in the top left on my screen.
Good morning.
Hi, Dorothy. How are you? Good morning. Where are you? You must be on the West Coast somewhere.
I am in Alaska,
That's like the way West Coast.
the most west.
Anchorage?
No, out in Wasilla.
Okay, you're in Wasilla. All right, cool.
Mhm.
I was gonna say I saw Christy on here earlier, but she jumped off. So you with Christy's team up there?
I am.
All right, terrific. So buyer's agent?
No, I am an executive assistant and listing manager.
All right, terrific. So you don't get a lot of objections from buyers and sellers.
No, not yet.
Okay, so I'm not gonna, I don't want to teach you how to handle objections that Christie has. Because I know her well enough to know that that's not going to end well for me. So awesome. Welcome and thank you for playing. Kevin Dolan, what do you got? He puts in here that he's got an objection and then his screen froze. Kevin. Man, as soon as I call on people, they all jump off. What Sandra, did I do something today, Sandra?
Well, John.
You'll tell it like it is. So
yeah, maybe people are just scared. Who knows? I don't know.
he put it in the chat that he's got a client objection. It's in there. I read it. And now his computer's all frozen. And he just got a new one. So Jeff, you're in the office behind me. What's going on in your world?
John, there's 8 months inventory on Marco Island. Why should I try to sell?
Holy crap. I'm sorry. Is it really 8 months worth of inventory?
It's kind of an anomaly because of what's happened to the island since the storm and the flood rates have gone skyrocketing when they re-rated Marco Island. So it's really a tough insurance play, but the inventory in the surrounding area is 3.5 months. So it's interesting to see how you could get a seller to jump off that fence.
Okay, so Jeff, I get it. You're concerned about putting your house on the market when there's a lot of competition. Is there anything else keeping you from moving forward?
No, if I'd have done this last year at this time, John, I'd have made more money and I'd have sold it in 2 days.
Yeah, so Jeff, let me ask you, as a seller, do you think that the market's working for you or against you right now?
Well, there's a lot of choices for buyers, and the buyers have a lot more leverage than they had when the supply was much lower. So I think maybe to some extent it might be working against me, depending upon where my home stands with the others that are available for sale. And the other problem we have, John, is they passed this really severe rental ordinance a year ago, and now it's been challenged and suspended. But an investor is going to probably take a wait and see attitude. So I think that a lot of people buy on Marco to rent, and I think that's might be causing buyers to stay away.
Okay, so if buyers are staying away, less demand, what does that do for pricing?
Well, I mean, the prices are still holding or going up a little bit, even though there's such a big supply. So the few that are selling, John, are selling, looks to me like within 4 or 5 points of their list price.
Okay. So, and last year they were selling for 4 or 5% above their list price. This year they're selling 4 or 5% below. So what does that tell you as a seller?
Well, I guess it tells me that if I sell, I can probably, and I price properly, I guess if I can expect to get within a few points of my asking price. Okay.
And I mean, that trend with prices coming down and the price to sell ratio dropping, does that tell you that the prices are going up or prices are going down on the island?
Overall, the median prices are holding or going up a little bit, but the list to sell has gone down to 94, 95%. So obviously it tells me overall probably that prices are going down a little bit, but not precipitously.
Okay. So if prices are going down, then each day you wake up, your house is potentially losing a little bit in value over the previous day.
Yeah, I'm guessing maybe you could ask me how much equity I have, because over the last 3 years, I've built a ton of equity in my home, right?
Oh, yeah. So I guess the question, Jeff, is how much did you have last year and how much do you have today?
Well, I don't think I guess I haven't really lost any equity, because prices haven't dropped down that much. If I've lost a little bit of equity, it's probably not that significant, is it?
So by the way, guys, side note, Jeff is our data hound in our office. So,
I just want, I mean, in a lot of markets, inventory is staying in seller's side, 3.5, 3.5. In some markets, especially luxury markets, we're noticing the sales over $1 million. The inventory is up to 6-7 months. So clearly in the luxury end, things are slowing down. So I guess you got to go back to motivation and equity and those kinds of things. Even though they're slowing down in terms, but the prices aren't, you know, in this market are not cascading downward. They're maybe flattening and coming down a little bit. But so I guess what you go back to motivation, right? And equity and what the
Jeff, if
true
you were to
cost
sell
of
the
moving.
house, what are you going to do?
That's the question. What's your motivation and how much is it? I know we've been through this with Denny. He's very good at saying, well, if you've got $500,000 worth of equity, how much you need to borrow on the new house, you know, that sort of thing. So the cost to move is probably lower than people think, I guess, right?
Yep. So awesome. Thanks for stepping in, Jeff. Kevin, now that you're back, what is your client objection that you had?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right.
The first problem is that he's like a longtime friend, so it's easy to get caught up in, you know, not being 100% serious as you would someone that you didn't know. So he's got 2 houses that are going to come on the market. He's remodeling them, and he wants to sell them in 6 months, and he wants to give the listing to the biggest producer in that neighborhood, which is not me.
Right. So why? What is it about the biggest producer in the neighborhood that attracts you?
Because he's doing it for 5%, and he sells more than anybody else around here, and he drops a flyer in my mailbox every month, and he just feels like he's gonna get the highest price from him.
Okay, so I guess my question is, if he sells the most in the neighborhood, how is he? Well, let me back up a little bit. What's more important to you, service or net? The net that you make when you sell?
Both.
Okay. So how many homes does this person sell in that neighborhood?
He sells about 10 a year.
Okay. All right. And how many homes does he sell overall?
I don't know.
Okay. Would that be helpful for you to know?
It probably would be, but he's got 20 people on his team, so he's got a lot more opportunities than I might.
Oh, so he's got 20 people on his team. How often do you actually get to talk to him?
That's a good question. He said that there'll never be a problem reaching him.
Why does he need 20 people then if there's no problem reaching them?
Because they're out getting listings and finding buyers and things like that.
But isn't that what you're hiring him to do?
Or him or his team.
Well, you said you wanted to go with the agent who sells the most in the neighborhood, but it sounds like it's an office. I mean, 20 people, that averages out to half a house per person in the neighborhood. So I guess the question comes down to, do you want the person that's got the flashiest marketing? Or do you want the person who's going to be able to give you the attention and put the most money in your pocket?
That's good, John. That's very good.
It's a fair question.
He would conflate that. So I would say what he would say would be, I would conflate it and said the person who has the most sales will get the best price on it since he has the most amount of team players.
Interesting. So Kevin, side note, how many people are in your office?
Nice, about over 100.
Okay, so then it's okay. You know what? The team that I'm with, we've got over 100 people. Is it possible that our 100 people can outperform those 20?
That's nice. Yeah, that is definitely possible.
Okay. So what's the criteria you're going to use to select your agent? Is it going to be the guy who's flashy, or is it going to be the one with the biggest team?
So I would have the biggest. So you're saying to me, John, that you have the biggest team?
Well, Kevin, you got 100 plus agents in your office.
Yeah.
That all work together. And I would just say you have an opportunity to leverage that in your favor, compare and contrast that to a team of 20 and how they work, whether or not it's they're going to get that same level of support from the rest of the people in their office. And I can throw it out there. You guys that have agents in your office with mega teams inside the office, do you feel like you guys are all the same and together? And Dorothy, you don't get to answer this because your office is the mega team. Do you feel like everybody plays at in the same sandbox well? Or do you feel like Sandra's already shaking her head? Or do you feel like they have their own sandbox? The point is to create and cast a little bit of doubt and do it in such a way that you're not impugning or being derogatory towards the other person. And
I like that.
Not every office has that challenge. You know, we've got a team in our office here that does $120 million a year, and they're downstairs cooking hot dogs elbow to elbow with everybody else, literally. So we don't have that challenge in our office. Other offices I've been affiliated with did have that challenge. So it's just one of those things where you can put a question in their head where they start asking, am I getting what I think I'm getting? Does that help?
That helps a lot. That's amazing. Thank you.
Now let's take this another way. How do you know this seller?
We've known each other for about 15 years.
Okay, so this is somebody you've known for about 15 years, and he knows that you're really fairly new in the business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play that card. Like, dude, we've known each other for 15 years. What I'm asking is for you to give me the opportunity to duplicate and match whatever anyone else tells you. And I'll do that. And if you're not happy, I'll rip everything up and you can move on. We've known each other.
Yes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We've known each other 15 years. Just give me the opportunity.
Yeah, good. Good. We talked about this like 2 years ago, and he said that he was going to go with the broker that does it for 2 or 3%.
Yeah, well, you guys are in San Francisco, so we don't even want to talk about commission rates here.
Yeah, well, I told him that wasn't going to work, and then we didn't speak for like a few months, and then he says, "Yeah, I know about that commission. 2 or 3% was not going to work." He said, "I was able to not talk to him and convince him by, letting it go."
Create the win-win with them. That's what it's all about, creating a win-win.
That's great, John. Thank you.
All right, we got time for one more if you guys want it. What do you got? Can't tell if Sandra's about to type something here or if she's answering an email to somebody else.
answering a text message and writing up an amendment. So, and listening
Oh,
intently.
good,
Thank you. I
good.
try.
Making money on the call. I love that.
Try.
All right, guys, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna give you 3.5 minutes of your day back. Use it wisely. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great
Thank
weekend, guys.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, John.